Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It is Twitter Spaces here with LinksDAO. It's been a minute. Happy to be back with you all. Let everyone file in here, but if you go ahead and share the spaces, there's a button in the bottom right that you can tap to share and retweet this spaces. Everyone who does so will be entered for a chance to win a free hat. So go ahead and share the spaces link. We'll get started here in just a moment. Get everyone up here on stage. Appreciate everybody in here. Hello, hello. Get everyone in here. Perfect, perfect. So if you happen to miss Community Tuesday, which we have each week in our Discord server, we have chatting about US courses this week. We had a little rundown there in the server, but we're going to run it back here for our friends on Twitter. Got a lot of stuff happening this week in Links. We've got the Spay Bay event registrations. They're live now. We've got signature events coming out shortly. A lot of really, really fun stuff going on. But go ahead and tap that icon in the bottom right to share the spaces. Everyone who does so will be entered for a chance to win a free Links hat. Your odds are pretty good right now, so go ahead and share that out. And we'll get started here. What's up, Adam, Jim, Mr. Senor, C. Bruce? How y'all doing today?
Fantastic. Doing great, Coop. Just very much looking forward to a drier and sunnier and warmer Northeast so I can actually play some golf.
Yeah, it's spring is not quite sprung yet. We had like that one teaser of a 70-degree day this past weekend, but we need some warmer weather for the golf. Absolutely. All right. Well, without further ado, we can kick it off here today on Spaces. Uh, love to hear from you, Jim. I always love seeing your Twitter profile picture, that selfie at the Village Hall in Scotland, right outside of Spey Bay. We did purchase our first golf course in Scotland last year, but why don't you tell us in your own words the history, how we got to this point? Um, what's up with Links, the DAO, the business, and where we go from here.
Cool. Yeah, Coop. So you'd mentioned at the onset of the spaces that we had a call bringing the membership, the community up to speed on a couple different course opportunities in the US that we had been working on. And we also wanted to do this spaces to be able to catch any of the members that are on Twitter all the time or X all the time and follow the project this way versus on Discord, to make sure that A, you all know exactly what's going on. B, you hop back into the Discord this week and vote on the proposals that are out right now, to make sure that your voice is heard, because that has always been a critical element of this project and always will be. So the project, as many on this spaces know, is a little over 2 years old. A concept and a project that is very revolutionary in the world of golf, and as well as in the world of golf course ownership and real estate. The origins were always around purchasing an extraordinary golf course that all of the members that joined via NFT would be able to initiate at. And then also giving them a voice in things happening at those properties and those golf courses. Scoop said we did buy a golf course at the behest of the membership. And the way that that had worked is the team at Links had vetted or continues to vet quite a lot of different golf course opportunities. This came up in Scotland. It was actually the first golf course we had looked at outside of the United States, seriously. We did our own diligence on it. We drafted in a lot of our very trusted partners in the world of golf course ownership and design and management to get their take on that golf course. We went for a site visit, and then we put together a proposal with support from the community, and put the proposal out to the community to say, do you want us to pursue this opportunity at Spey Bay in Scotland? If they said yes, the majority said yes with quorum, we would. If they said no, we would not. We'd move on because we want to be focusing in on opportunities that have the full support of the community. So that proposal came back at just under 90% yes. We then worked our butts off to get that golf course acquired, and we succeeded. And so, we are the owners of Spey Bay in Scotland. It's being redesigned by the folks at CDP and Mike DeVries. It's ahead of schedule. We've done a lot of renovations on the ground over the winter. And as we get into the early season and into May, June, our members will be able to play the first 7 holes in a fully reversible manner with extreme upgrades in terms of the playability and the joy that the golf course brings. So I think we're very excited about, one, that first move that we made, two, the backing of the community so enthusiastically, three, the progress we've made very, very quickly, and four, how much we've improved the course already by injecting, the Links Golf Club into it. As we have moved forward, we always have been focused on acquiring a golf course in the United States. And we know that that's something that our membership and the Links community is very, very interested in. So we spent quite a lot of time and effort to find the right type of property for us. We've looked at probably, I don't know, 150 to 160 properties in the US at this point. We've learned a lot along the way. I would say that at the beginning of the project, we had a lot of folks reaching out to us and saying, I have a golf course, I'm happy to sell it to you. We very, very wisely did not move on many of those opportunities because they really were not, they were not right for the project. We've also learned that public deals, in large part, are not the ones to pursue. There's a couple different reasons for that. One, golf courses do have an over tendency to be sold at very reasonable prices on a public market if they have a lot of deferred maintenance. So effectively, if a golf course might have been great 10, 15, 20 years ago, but if the owners had not been investing in that golf course, then there's quite a lot of infrastructure work and financial resources you need to put forth to getting the place into playable shape before you even start investing in things like renovations, clubhouse, so on and so forth. We've looked at quite a handful of those golf courses over the last couple years. Seven Lakes in Pinehurst is an example. Pretty good location, right in Pinehurst, obviously a big golf destination, quite a lot of golf. I think the opportunity to be great, but it would take probably 20 to 21 million dollars in investment to get the course to where you want it to be. That's not the right type of course for us. What we found is that the courses that are most interesting are the off-market courses. So we have really good relationships in the industry, and we have a good reputation now, especially with the acquisition of Spey Bay within the golf course ownership community. And so we're able to, I think, get access to deals and opportunities that a lot of other folks aren't able to. Now, this is a double-edged sword because in one way you are really working with one party, typically the owner or the leaseholder of that property, to try to work out a deal that works for everybody. The drawback of these types of deals is that they're simply not guaranteed. There were two in particular that we really, really liked. We were at the term sheet stage, and then the seller ultimately said, you know what, I love what you guys are doing, but I'm just not ready to sell the golf course. So they didn't sell it to us, and they obviously didn't sell it to anybody else. They still own the golf course today. These are good opportunities for us, and both of the opportunities that we are bringing to the community, one in the Southeast and one in the Midwest, are these types of opportunities. So one thing I would like to reiterate to everybody on this call is that the we are at the stage in both of these opportunities where we can make a serious play for the properties, and if we want to, I think there's a very high level of confidence that we'll be able to make a deal and close. Nothing's ever guaranteed, of course, things change, but we feel good about it right now. Um, this is not a proposal to say buy that golf course. This is a proposal because we want to bring things to the community to vote as early as we possibly can in the process. Obviously, we're going to do due diligence. We're not going to be wasting people's time. We're going to come with real opportunities that we feel like have really good upside for the community. But this is really just an indication that one property, the other property, or both myself. We're under NDA with both of these properties, which is why we can't openly discuss names and a bunch of other details at the moment. But we really want to get everybody's feedback, and it's critically important that we get as much feedback as we possibly can. There's a bunch of other exciting things happening right now. It's actually an extremely busy time. We're about to release our signature event series, as Cooper mentioned, at very hyper exclusive private courses across the U.S. shortly. We are going to be sending 2 of our members to the grass clippings tournament next month out in Arizona. It's going to be fully voted on by our community who we want to send. There's some really good partnerships that are coming down the pike for the beginning of next year. It's an awesome time for the project. So thank you all for being a part of it. Thrilled to have you in the spaces, and I'm going to kick it over to C. Bruce and Bez so they can talk more specifically about the different opportunities.
All right, thanks, Jim. Yeah, so just a reminder, you can check the actual proposals for both of these in the tweets that are pinned at the top here, which have links to Snapshot, where you can read through kind of in black and white some of the detail that's been put out for both the proposals 19 and 20, which are for the individual courses, and then 21, where we're asking members to choose one if they had to choose one, just to give us a little more info on folks' preferences. But we'll run through both of these here in the spaces as well. Just to kind of step back for a second. So, as Jim mentioned, we've looked at well over 100 courses at this point at varying levels of due diligence. These 2 in particular, why we've continued to work on them and continued to engage with the sellers and keep pushing them forward is because they appear to line up very well with what the community has said it wants in a course. We've done now 2 course attribute votes, one last year and then kind of a refreshed version of it this year, where we basically asked the community, what course attributes are the most important to you. We required people to force rank them to give us an idea. And it was pretty consistent in both years. What came out far and away on top was, course quality, which can be a subjective thing. But, at the end of the day, we know our members want a really high quality course to play. And then, a step below that, but consistently above all the other attributes, were close to an airport, close to a major airport, that is, so that people, our members across the country, across the world, have the ability to get to it relatively easily, and the ability to play year round, which was important for folks as well. So, as we've been searching through all these different opportunities, on market, off market, and looking at the various courses that we could pursue, we've used that as kind of our guiding principles for which ones we really prioritize. And these 2 in particular, we think line up very
All right. It looks like we got rugged. It's been a while since Twitter Space has been rugged so vigorously. But we are launching back up right now. So sorry to interrupt our friends in the middle of the conversation.
You just didn't like what I was saying. Just had to
I
kill it.
I loved what you were saying. Apparently, Elon didn't. There we go. All right, everybody, let's try this again. Please retweet the spaces. Get it going again here. So sorry to everyone who got rug pulled on that one. But we should be back up and running here. Just a moment.
Give folks a minute to filter in before I get started again.
Absolutely. We can spread the word. Go ahead and repost, rejoin. We're getting Mike Dudas back up in here. We've got Jim and Bez back. All right, we're making moves. Appreciate everybody's patience as we kick this back off. Excellent. Appreciate everybody jumping back in here. Update the spaces link on our Discord event as well. Make sure we have the new one. All right. Cool. Yeah, in case you missed it, we've got some great options for you up at the top. You can explore the voting options on Snapshot. That link is pinned to the top of the page. Please read the proposals, but if you prefer to listen, stick around. We're going to continue diving back in with some pretty detailed descriptions of the courses and some of the rationale that got us to this point. Again, as always, you can feel free to hop into the Discord, talk directly with the team in there, discord.gg/LinksDAO. That's also linked on our page. And remember to sign up for the Mulligan. If you're a Links member, you're a holder, and you want to stay up to date without joining a Discord or having Twitter notifications on, the best way to do that is to add your email address to your Clubhouse profile account. That will automatically sign you up for our weekly newsletter, The Mulligan, which will keep you up to date on the latest and greatest in member benefits, course access, votes, Spay Bay events, and much, much more. Again, we've got signature events dropping here next week as well. So keep your eyes peeled for more info on that. And I think we've got everybody, almost everybody back here. See, Bruce, if you want to take over again where you left off.
Yeah, sure. And maybe just a quick recap of what we did on V1 of the spaces, or what we covered on V1. So, Jim went through some of the kind of the lead up or what we've been working on over the past 2 years as evaluating courses. And so now we've got two up or we have proposals related to two US courses up. You can see the pinned tweet at the top of the spaces here. So definitely go visit that and read through them if you haven't already. But, to recap, we've looked at a ton of courses, kind of over 150 at this point. And, the reason these two, we've continued to work on them. And, in the case of one of them, we've actually been in contact with the seller for over a year now, I guess. So it certainly has been a long process and it's taken a lot of work. But the reason we've continued to work on them is because they seemingly line up very well with what our community has said they would prefer in a golf course. And so we've done two course attribute votes at this point, one in last year, one this year, or excuse me, I guess one in 2022, one in 2023. And What came back pretty consistently in both years is that the top three attributes that people in the Links community were looking for is number one, a high quality course, and then number two and three being close to a major airport, and then the ability to play year round or have a longer playing season, which makes kind of intuitive sense. We've got members across the country or really across the globe, right? So to be able to get to our course easily with the airport nearby is certainly important, and having the longer season so that folks can visit various times also important as well. So when we've been looking at all these different opportunities that have come across our desk, or as we're scanning public listings and everything else, we've really used that input to help guide what we should prioritize and what types of courses we should look at. And ultimately, that's what's led to us continuing to pursue these two opportunities that we have up in proposals today. So I'll kind of go through each of them separately, but at a high level summary, these are courses that have really, they're very solid courses today and have really good bones for us to, do course improvements upon and up level them in the future. Both of them are very close to airports. So, both of them are within 30 minutes of an airport. The one in the southeast is a location that can basically get direct flights to really most major cities in the eastern half of the U.S. Obviously, just given the location, a little different for the West Coast. The one in the Midwest has it's an international airport and is accessible really for most major cities across the country. So certainly hits that criteria. And then of course, given the location, the playing season looks a little different for each of them. Southeast a little longer, Midwest a little shorter. But all said, there's trade-offs in every course. But as we've looked through it, these two seem to be really, really good opportunities that line up with what the community has told us that they're looking for. So, that's kind of what got us here, right? The other thing I'll say is, the structure of these, which we lay out again in the proposals, is I think very well suited to just kind of our project and what we're looking to do. So in both cases, the kind of layout or the structure of the deal is set up such that we can devote a lot of resources to improving the course when we take it over. And we know, again, kind of course quality is what came across as the most important to everyone in our community in both votes that we've done. We know that's important. So, that's another kind of very attractive attribute about both of these. If we're taking over a course or, owning a course or, co-owning it, that we're going to be able to really take it to the next level for all of our members in the future. So that's consistent across both. And, we've really, Jim kind of mentioned this up front, but, we've had the benefit of having a ton of partners, advisors, and friends throughout the industry that have helped us throughout this process and given us a lot of really good input as we've been looking through these. That goes from, Kemper and IMG and all the architects and other kind of golf industry professionals that we've been connected with over the past 2 years. It's really kind of helped us up our game and really know what we're doing when we're looking at all these opportunities. So that's the overview. I'll just jump in, maybe give a little rundown of each course separately. But before we do that, Coop, did you want to talk about kind of the vote and the proposal structure and all of that before we jump in?
Absolutely, thanks. Yeah, so this is a little bit different from some of the votes we've had in the past, as we've detailed here. This is not a commitment to vote to purchase, right? These are a preference poll. And there are 3 separate proposals here. There is proposal 19, which is the Southeast course, where you'll choose in a vacuum, right? Extreme yes, meaning that you definitely will initiate at this course. You're all in favor, you're all in. yes, just that you're generally in favor, but you want more details or other things before committing to initiating it at this course. No, which I was moving a little quickly and actually wrote neither, unfortunately, on the snapshot, which is on the blockchain, can't be edited. That means no here in this proposal, meaning that you're generally opposed to the Southeast course, or abstain, which just contributes to the quorum, right? And we love pumping those numbers up. We have really high participation rates in the DAO. So even if you don't know what you want to vote, please go and vote for one of the options, including abstain. It's the same for proposal 20 on the Midwest course. That's going to be extreme yes, yes, no, or abstain. So consider each of those courses on their own in a vacuum based on the proposals. And then we have a really interesting proposal, number 21, which is a head-to-head between these two options. So if you were forced to choose, right, between the Southeast course and the Midwest course, of course, it is a coincidence that these two courses are being presented at the same time here. But we do want to take the opportunity to get your preferences if you had to choose one of these two options. So you can select on Snapshot Midwest, Southeast, neither, or abstain. So voting is live now. You can head to Snapshot. We've got a video posted on our YouTube channel and in Discord. If you have any questions about voting, you can also just DM this account. And we're more than happy to guide you through the process. But very fun time with the proposals and votings, but that's how it's structured to get the most feedback and data possible here with the DAO vote.
All right, thanks, Scoop. So yeah, with that, we'll kind of run through a little more specifics on both of the opportunities that are in front of us. And again, kind of hit up the proposals to see this in even more detail. But we'll run through those today, and then tweet out or throw in the Discord or come up on stage to ask questions. That's what we're here for. We're happy to give people as much detail as we can on this to inform the vote that's ongoing now. So I'll start off with the Southeast course. So this is the one that's captured in proposal 19. But the Southeast course, again, we think this is a really
moment. I'm going to post this link back on all of these posts. Unbelievable. Okay, cool. Well, we'll get everybody filled in here. Thanks for the retweets and the reposts. Again, lots of opportunities to enter to win this free hat today. Sharing the spaces. Seabridge, do you have any golf plan this weekend?
I wish. Not this weekend. I don't think the weather's going to be great for it, and got some other stuff going on with the kids. But soon.
True.
It's getting warmer.
Soon.
It's getting light out longer. Daylight savings times this weekend, right? Things are looking up.
That's right. Yeah, we've got the Arnold Palmer Invitational happening. Jeopardy Tournament of Champions, Selection Sunday from Arch Madness. Pop in if you like brackets too. We'll do a bracket, right, Dom? Give me a thumbs up or a heart react if we'll do a bracket challenge in the Discord for everybody. It'll be a good time. Spring is here. Additionally, you may have seen a proxy submission for the grass clippings event. Little round of applause. Wish I had like a soundboard. We need to get that set up for a proxy submission. Fantastic dedication and swag. But we're going to be sending 2 members of the Links community to the grass clippings $100,000 tournament in April. You can submit your own content with hashtag links grass clippings on Instagram or X. And you can also post it in the Discord as a submission, and we're going to vote as a community on who to send. Should be an awesome, awesome time. So spread the word on that. A proxy early, ahead in the polls early. But we'll see. Looking forward to some more submissions on that. Yeah. Again, please tap that little purple icon in the bottom right. Post a tweet, retweet about the spaces, since we are back for the second time here. Third time's the charm. Spread the word, and we will dive back in with some more details on these proposals that we have up for vote. We've had a recap. We'll post that link for a recording, but we're going to dive in with the Southeast Course proposal as soon as C. Bruce is ready to resume here. And I'm going to just like set my phone right next to the Wi-Fi router and not touch it. See if we can keep the spaces running.
Yeah, good vibes only. Send your positive vibes, Coop's phone. All right, I'm going to jump right in. If you want some of the background or some of the overall recap from Jim, hit up the other spaces. But I'll go ahead and jump in. We're just starting to talk about the Southeast Course. This is the one that's detailed in Proposal 19. So to give the quick rundown, this is what I would describe as a very solid public course in the Southeast. It's in a city. It is very close to an airport. That again is kind of easily accessible for most Eastern U.S. cities, I would say. We even we did a day trip there when we visited the course the first time. Flew from New York, uh, played 18, met with the sellers, looked around the city some more, and then flew back all in one day, right? So it's kind of very good from an accessibility standpoint for our members, particularly thinking of in the Eastern U.S. We know kind of a preponderance of our members are in the kind of Northeast and the New York and Philly and Boston and DC areas. So that's obviously a positive for this one. And, in our estimation, it gives a really good combination of a longer playing season. It's not, like fully year round where you're guaranteed to have, 70-degree weather in the summer, or excuse me, in the winter or anything like that. But given that it's in the Southeast, it does have a longer playing season, which is great, getting kind of more times of the year, which our members can visit. But also, since it's not kind of fully, like all the way south in Miami or anything like that, it has, you have greater ability to kind of maintain the turf and just playing conditions and everything else. We've mentioned it has bent grass greens and, some other really attractive attributes from that perspective. So, that's a very high level overview of the course. In this situation, what we'd be doing is we'd actually be taking over the lease of the course and or over the lease of the land, and then we'd be running the course as the sole owner and operator of the golf operation there, and would really have the run of the place. One requirement, this is mentioned in the proposal, but one requirement is that there are publicly available tee times at this course. So that's something to consider for all of us as we're kind of reviewing the proposal and voting. But we don't consider that like a huge thing, but it is an attribute, of the course. If we were to take it over, we would still need to have some publicly available tee times. At the end of the day, there's positives and negatives to that, right? Kind of provide some additional revenue for the course, which can subsidize members at the course and so on. But it does mean that there are others playing at tee times throughout the day. But yeah, so again, kind of lines up really well with the attributes that we've seen. It's kind of solid quality today and has, in our estimation, a good kind of foundation for us to build upon with improvements. Good length today, some interesting holes, some which we think we could improve, has a really good existing, actually pretty large clubhouse with a bar and restaurant, pro shop, locker room, and all these things. And, again, super easily accessible, very close to an airport and the longer playing season. So, lot of positive attributes about that one. Again, visit proposal 19 to take a look at some more details that we lay out there and give us your vote or kind of your view on the the opportunity there. And then I'll go ahead and jump to the Midwest course opportunity, which is the second one listed. It's proposal 20 for the one that is specific to that course. So this is, again, a really interesting opportunity, but a very different setup from the Southeast course. So this is a course that is, I would say kind of similar attributes to the Southeast course today, right? It's kind of same level of green fees in that $45 to $70 range. It's a public course. This one is actually designed by a golden age architect, certainly whose name you'd know. We aren't mentioning it just because it would, kind of narrow things down, and we are kind of keeping the course name anonymous today. But it's designed by an architect that is notable. But the kind of biggest difference or distinction with this opportunity is what we would be doing here is we'd actually be partnering with the current owner to co-own the course. And as part of that, we would be joining them in the renovation effort of the course that is, intended to make it, obviously a much better course. The current owner has the intentions to, make it into something that can approach, like the top 100 level course that we've always talked about, potentially even being the level that it could host a tour site. Not that that's guaranteed or necessarily the goal, but, that kind of getting to that level of course. But along with that, what that would mean is the course is going to be closed for really the next 2 years. So it would reopen in 2026 as it's being fully renovated. And of course, we would be co-owning this, right? This is a situation where we would be partnering with the current owner and being a co-owner in the course. And so, it's kind of working from a similar template, I would say, both the Southeast and Midwest opportunities that we're looking at, but this one kind of a very different structure of how we would pursue it. Really, kind of how I've referred to this one is, this is an instance where, any course we take over, we're going to look to improve it and get it to a really, really high quality course over time. That's always been the goal, right? But with the Midwest course in particular, I think what we'd be doing here is really partnering with the current owner to accelerate that vision, right? So it wouldn't just be us, it would be us and the current owner kind of co-investing to really kind of pull that vision forward and do some of the work more quickly. But, that comes with other attributes like, it not being playable immediately, it wouldn't be open until 2026, and that would be a co-owner of the course. So, that obviously kind of covers the quality aspect. The intent is to really up-level the quality of the course and what it can be. It again is close to an airport. Going back to those attributes that the community is brought up, it's kind of 30 minutes away from an international airport in the Midwest. Very accessible from really most kind of major cities across both coasts and everywhere in between. So certainly kind of aligns well with that criteria of being close to a major airport. And as for the third attribute, this, of course, since it's in the Midwest, it's not going to be something that's playable year round. So that's one of the trade-offs here, right, is that it would be more of a traditional playing season, but, I'd kind of put it in the category of average, right? Kind of many places across the US would have similar playing seasons to this, but certainly not playable in the dead of winter. So that's a really high-level description. Give people a flavor of the different opportunities that are in front of us. Again, you can see more detail in the proposals. We haven't shared, every single detail because we can't at this point, and we can't identify the courses, but we've attempted to share as much as we possibly can without crossing that threshold. So we're doing that in the interest of getting everyone's feedback, getting everyone's votes and participation on what they want to see, how they feel about these opportunities, and everything else, and make sure to participate in the votes if you haven't already. And in that vein, we're happy to answer questions. If you want to come up on stage today, or tweet them, or put them in the Discord as well. Coop, I don't know if we've had any come in while we've been talking, but certainly happy to open for questions at this point.
Yeah, go ahead and raise your hand if you'd like to come up on stage, ask any questions, comments, thoughts about the voting or proposals. We're here for you. I do want to reiterate, this is stated in the proposals, but we do plan to have another vote, a final vote, if we do move forward with one or of these opportunities where the course will be named and we'll have all of the details hammered out for you to decide. I know it's a little bit of an ask to go in and make an on-chain choice between these two anonymized courses, but it's really important at this stage that we get the community's feedback on what is your preference between these two options. So we will definitely have another vote that looks a lot more like the SPAY vote. Like, should we finalize this deal? Should we make an offer? Should we place a bid? Should we close this deal at a future date? But definitely a really important stage in the process here this week to get these votes in. And I do want to give a huge shout out to C. Bruce, to Bez, to Jim, to the whole Links team for getting these opportunities to this stage to be reviewed and considered by the community for feedback. It's taken a lot of work. It's 2 years in the making, right? I know for at least one of these two opportunities, the conversations with the seller have been ongoing for over a year, right? So this is the culmination of a lot of hard work, and I'm super, super excited for what this means for the Links community to have a US gem in addition to our Scottish glorious Spey Bay. While people think about raising their hand or drop some questions, I will remind everyone that we do have Spey Bay events open now. You can go to links.golf/spaybay/events to register. If you have any questions on that, you can ping. Those are open. You do get a discount if you're an initiated Spey Bay member, so you can do that in Clubhouse. If you have any questions, happy to answer on that, as well as our signature events coming up here in the US very shortly. So stay tuned. Keep those eyes on your inboxes as we continue to do more cool things as it warms up for golf season. I can't wait to see all of you play some golf in person. It's going to be a fantastic year for Links, for golf, for this community.
I'll make one other comment as people are pondering if they have any questions or anything to throw up. Definitely encourage everybody to vote on all three proposals. So I've seen, I think we had the highest count on the head-to-head vote, if I'm remembering correctly, Coop. But it is really important for everyone to give their vote on all three. Just as a reminder, this isn't like a vote between the two courses. We're gonna either buy course A or course B. We aren't quite at that point yet. Really, what we want at this point is everyone's view on each course individually. What's the level of kind of excitement and your feeling around alignment of how that course sounds, it kind of interests you as a member of Links. And we have the head-to-head vote there just to get some more information about kind of people's preferences that can reveal some other interesting kind of aspects. But please vote on all three and look at each opportunity individually, because that's really helpful for us. We want everyone's kind of full view on both of them. Neither of them are a guaranteed thing, and we want to make sure we get kind of full information for full participation across both of them. So, if you did only vote on the head-to-head, or if you haven't voted yet, please make sure to look at all three votes.
Perfect. Well, appreciate y'all's time today. I know we ran a little bit over our expected time with the various rugs. Thank you all for chiming in and coming back with us each and every time. We will select the hat winner and reach out to you via DMs shortly to get you the hat of your choice from the Links Pro Shop. If you didn't win the hat, those hats are still for sale. You get a great discount as a member. Rock those this season on the golf course. But we'll pick that winner here soon and reach out to you. Thank you everybody for being here, and please go ahead and share the spaces. It is recorded so everyone can listen after the fact. We will see you in the chats. Have a fantastic week.